Okay, there you are. I can see. Okay.
Everyone, and we are live with a slight delay, but it's okay. Things happen. This is a live podcast, so it's all okay. So, this is our first podcast, Indie Corner, about
We're off
indie
to a
games, right?
we're off to a terrible start already.
So, here we have Schmeckman with me, my dear
Sorry.
friend. How you doing? That day,
Uh,
right?
yep, it is one of those days.
So, on this podcast, we're going to talk about Zealot. It's a game that, well, Sam is here with us to talk about the game. I will not spoil you anything, so Sam will talk a little bit about the game. Hey, Sam.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
up?
yeah. So it's great. Let me say that thank you for accepting our invite for the podcast. Um, So yeah, let's talk about the game itself. Tell me the idea behind this game. I know that the game has like 3 months, right, of development. So yeah, just tell me the base.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me. We're
Welcome.
very happy to be a part of the first episode. Congratulations, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We've been in development for roughly a little bit more than a year, actually.
Here.
But counting, the pre-development parts with the concept, the world building, kind of calculating assets. What specifically do you want to know about the game?
Okay.
World setting? You know, like the general bits.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if we start by the story, Zealot is a game that's set in a Slavic setting. We were very inspired by the Orthodox Church, Orthodox Christianity,
Okay.
and in general also the mythology and religion of the pagan culture that used to live in the area, which weirdly enough is very similar to Odin. The Nordic mythology.
Mm-hmm.
They have sort of similarities like the Roman and Greek mythology, where they have some of the same gods with different names. But the iconographies they have are very iconic to that area around Russia, Ukraine, Belarus. In the game, you would play as a priest. Without giving too much spoilers into the story, this is the general, general overworld.
We don't deserve spoilers.
Not yet. We have big plans to announce eventually.
Okay.
We like to keep our things timed. So, in the game, you play as a priest. You wake up in a settlement where you, as a player, you would have the same mentality and same mindset as the character. You wouldn't understand what's happening, but through environment storytelling methods, we would kind of give you hints of what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be up to the player to piece the story together. But it's pretty much, something went down, something horrible went down with your people, and you're gonna take your will and God's will to bring revenge and smite those who wronged you.
Okay.
Your will and a blunt object based on the previews.
Yeah. Most people say it's a brush, not brush, a broom.
Okay. Okay. That sounds
But it's not really
interesting.
a broom.
There we go.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. One thing that I noticed was the menu kind of brought me the idea. I don't know if you played Blasphemous, but you know the menu.
I haven't played it. We have our 2D artist is a big fan of them, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I was about to ask you, what games inspired you
Inspiration wise, we had a lot of inspirations because most of us we came from different gamer backgrounds.
Okay.
So we got um, Ragnarok Online was a big one for me, at least in the 3D area.
Mm-hmm.
We had Xenogears as well, which is more on our 2D artist side. He was more inspired by that. We were a little bit inspired by Blasphemous. They have an amazing art style.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, we were inspired by a lot of Metroidvanias. I like to say, for example, Mega Man. We also had the original Zelda, the first Legend of Zelda game.
Schmuckman here is a big fan of that.
Really,
I can see it based on the trailer. It looks different camera angle, but still kind of. You're wandering around. You're hitting stuff.
basically.
You're probably going to find progressive upgrades to help you get more stuff along the way, or
Yeah.
to unlock more areas.
I can go a little bit into that if you guys want to hear about it. So,
We are all ears here. Yeah. We
Go.
want.
Floor is yours, by all means.
so as a Metroidvania, like you said, you'd find elements that help you progress throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want it to feel like a stiff gameplay, so we want to keep the player on its feet by giving them new things to deal with and new ways to deal with these things. You would
Okay.
have different weapons. A lot of questions we got during, as you know, we've been to these events during Weekly Lisbon Gaming Week and Games World.
Yep.
And a lot of people were asking, well, you just fight with this weapon. This weapon looks like a broom. It doesn't feel like it's too slow for me, yada, yada, yada. But you would have different weapons that help to fit each player's personality, I would say. So you'd have a fast weapon, you'd have a medium weapon, you have a long range weapon, you have a medium range weapon. You'd have boss weapons, sort of like Dark Souls in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh god.
Schmucky's
Not a
having a
sword
hard time with Dark Souls, so that's why.
Oh, first
Gwen's
one?
been Gwen's been wiping the floor with my face.
Oh man, just bury him, man. Come on, get good.
Get good, get drunk.
Yeah. No, but yeah, if you like Legend of Zelda, I'm pretty sure you're going to like Zealot as well.
Well, that's a great premise then. Yeah, we both like Zelda, so yeah, that's an awesome start. And from my what I experienced from the game doesn't look slow to me. Of course, the weapon that you were using on that time, it's a huge weapon, so that's why your character is a little bit slow. And I was one of the persons that asked that if you only stick with that weapon. And I also asked you if you guys will have or will add some ranged weapons to it. And you reply that the abilities, they have kind of like a little bit of range, right?
Yeah. We discussed as a team, and we might be adding a long range weapon. Because, as I said, we want to make sure that everyone has a little bit of fun
Mm-hmm.
with Zealot, and we're trying to focus in every type of player in a way.
Okay, that's awesome. So you can work with the play style of the player itself. So the player can pick range and melee weapon. That's awesome. So another question: how do you guys meet? You guys know from school projects? How this all started?
It's a long story. If I can resume it a little bit, me and our programmer or lead project guy, we are both from the same city in Brazil. We're
Okay.
from Rio de Janeiro. Weirdly enough, we never met there, but after I moved here, I found out that he was also part of my friends group in Brazil.
Oh,
After
really?
years of yeah, it was such a
Oh.
weird coincidence. We went to to watch a movie and with some of his friends as well, and we hit off. I was fairly new here in Portugal. After a while, he went to Lusófona, which is a university here in Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
where he met João Amada, which is our other programmer. They also started, they became friends and started talking about building a studio here in Lisbon. They invited me as 3D artist, and by then I was already friends with Vasco Mariano, which is our 2D guy, and an animator. He's the guy that you guys can see like the amazing artwork that he's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
We were also friends in high school before this everything happened, and I pointed him as a concept artist to work with us, and we kind of just rode with it. We ended up having some plans in the beginning. Zealot wasn't going to be our first project or our first IP. But we hit like a solid brick wall with the first idea. It was like awful, um, to say the least. And now we have Zealot. That's basically the story. We're just four friends now, trying to
Okay.
do an epic game.
So it was like a snowball. This
Yeah.
person knows that person, that knows that person, that knows that person. Awesome.
Yeah, man, that's just the way everything works,
Yeah.
Who you know and where you are.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Exactly.
Nice. So you were mentioning the team members. So you are four, right? On
Yeah,
Prime
exactly.
Cuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Four.
wow.
Okay. Awesome.
Forgot
So
about that.
if I could just introduce the team real quick again.
Okay. Sure.
Sure.
I'm Sam. I'm the 3D artist. We have Vasco Mariano, who's our 2D artist, animator, and texture. We have João Amada, which is our lead programmer, and we have Eric Spanner, which is our programmer and project lead.
Okay. Awesome. Tell me about something. Do you guys have a specific person to kind of okay, you guys have the idea of the game, but all the story behind, you guys work all together to put up a story, or you have a specific person that tries to build a story for the game?
Lead writer, if you will.
It's a lot of back and forth between the team, but not to give the wrong idea. I would say in the beginning it was mainly João with Eric, but
Okay.
I can give this answer 100% accurate because by the time the story was going, I was a little bit put apart from it because I was studying in the UK.
Okay.
So I wasn't a big part of the first story building, but nowadays a little bit of back and forth, trying to come up with stuff that makes sense.
Okay, that's awesome. Because I know that some studios they contract a specific person to to take care of the story when the other persons take care of the I don't know the graphics part. So that's cool that you guys are all working together on that. That's cool. Um, so by the way, we were talking about the weapons and whatnot, but the specific game genre that you're that Zealot is made. It's a top. Let me check here. I have this somewhere. It's a top-down, right? Action
Yeah.
adventure, right?
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. With some RPG elements, right? Like you're talking about like weapons and whatnot.
Yeah, we're trying to stay away from the normal RPG elements that we know, leveling up and adjusting stats.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have a RPG-like progress with equipment, where equipment gets upgraded and you get a better look to your character. You can get better relics, better buffs, better this, better that, but not level-wise. And the further you go in the game, the more difficult it gets. But in an open world sense of the an open world sense where you can choose which way to go, but it just keeps getting harder anyway.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. So there will be a sense of replayability. Uh, what I want to ask is, you have a linear story. When you finish the story, it ends the game, or you can come back to the game and I don't know, get better equipment, try to beat the boss again.
I would say you should come back and do the game again because I can say that it's not going to be just one ending. I can say
Oh,
that much.
You gonna have a new
okay.
game plus?
Sure, man.
Awesome, awesome.
Awesome.
So great news. Well, I'm surprised. Nice one. Um, you guys have any ideas about the release date of the game right now, or?
I can't give the date for sure, but we have an idea for quarter 1 of 2022.
Okay, okay.
22. Yeah, the way
So
is to go.
I will pay attention to Twitter. Of course, I've been doing that since what, 3 weeks ago. And like Sam was saying, I met him on Shizel Worlds. There was an event there called IndieX, where a lot of Portuguese studios were there showing the project. Also, some studios from the outside of the world, the world outside of the Portugal. So from all the world, they were there, and I just met him, and I was like, "What? This game looks awesome." Um, was cool because the game mixed 2D with 3D environment. So yeah, it's definitely worth watching some trailers, some gameplay. I've been putting some videos here so you guys can watch that as well. So tell me the idea of 2D with the 3D worlds, because that's kind of hard to implement, right? I asked you this before.
In a way, it is pretty challenging. I have no expertise with programming, so I can't give my 2 cents on that. But as it comes in terms of art direction, Vasco has been having a lot of work with the animation of the character because we still want to give the 3D sense in the game. So our main character is animated in 8 different directions. So you have like north, south, east, west, and then the diagonals.
Mm-hmm.
And then for every animation he has, so walking animation, running animation, attacking animation, rolling animation, he has to be animated 8 times at least. And that in itself is a challenge. And the other challenge would be trying to figure out the lighting with the world, and since they're 2Ds, they're 2D sprites. You
Mm-hmm.
can't really have light hitting them from the side. You need to have them the light hitting them from a certain angle, so you still would have the shadow. Because one of the things that we really want to have in the game is realistic lighting,
Mm-hmm.
shader effects. Um, and in the beginning, that was a big challenge because we were getting, as you know, 2D sprites are, if you look to them on the side, they're literally just a very thin line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're getting problems like that where there was just a line in the ground. The decision to make it was a little bit on the obvious side because we are four, kids coming out of university. We didn't have a lot of expertise with building games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an environment artist, so I wouldn't be able to come up with like cool uh, double A, triple A environments. Um, we just kind of rode with the punches, and got like the inspirations I mentioned. We kind of had this idea, really, like not that it would be easy, but it would be less challenging to try and do something good with pixel art and sprites
Yeah.
rather than have everything 3D high quality with realistic textures or with, you know, generic AAA look, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, yeah, I can see the struggle with the lightning and the shadows of the character itself. Um, yeah, but I haven't noticed anything wrong with the those 15 minutes that I tried the game. I was like there spamming the buttons. I was having a great time, seriously, playing that
I'm
game.
glad. It's our job to figure what's wrong, and your job just to play the game. You know, we don't want the players to point out the faults in the game.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about a little bit. Do you guys have free time to play games, or you work 8 hours a day on your game and you just come back home and you don't want to be on your computer at all?
I'm gonna speak for myself because I can't speak for my team. But I haven't played a game like a proper game in a while. I take some time during the week, mostly in the weekends to play. But other than like a couple hours in the weekend, I just work. As an artist, you tend to keep focus on your personal projects as well.
Yeah.
So work in the game, work in personal projects, weekend, eat, drink, play a little bit, and kind of roll with it.
Because it's like that. If you come home, you have that idea that you want to implement on the game that you're doing, so you end up by doing that at home as well, right?
And the jealousy as well hits sometimes because when you make a first making an indie game in the pixel art style, and then we come home and you have not sponsored by the way, guys, but you know, Epic Game keeps releasing free games every week,
Yeah.
and they're amazing indie games. So just a couple weeks ago, I got The Messenger, and I was playing it, and the game looks fucking
I love that
amazing.
game.
It
I
looks so good.
completely forgot about that one.
I've
Oh
bought
my
that more
god,
than once.
I'm out of here, bye. I completely forgot about that. Jesus. That's actually, now that you mentioned that game, Schmuckman told me a couple of times, you should try this game. And I want to, but I never had time to actually try it. Um, and now I
It's
am jealous.
basically Ninja Gaiden minus the parts that make Ninja Gaiden irritating.
Yeah, it's easy Ninja Gaiden.
Pretty much, yeah. And a very good soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh fuck, so good.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, here's some money for that. I will continue to help those get that team out because I had a lot of fun with it. I loved it. It sounds great. It looks great. And the DLC they released during the summer was free, which is awesome when they do that. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that so much as well.
You play the DLC already, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So for those who don't know Schmuckman, he really likes platformer games. So he can beat pretty much every single level on Super Mario Maker, which I can't. But let's not talk about that. It's so frustrating trying to beat some of those levels, and Schmuckman just does that with one hand, playing with the controller. He's very good at that. So I can see Schmuckman beating that game, the Messenger, in what, a couple of hours.
it's a long game, and well, anybody who knows me knows. Oh, you get lost with a map, so that's not happening.
Yeah.
So, I see. It's that hard on that way.
I imagine it's not difficult. It's just like I said, I suck at reading maps.
Hmm.
I
Well,
get lost way too easily. I get way too scatterbrained too easily. It's just, oh, hey, wait, there's this, and this I can do. Which one should I do first? Wait, I can't do that because I need that first.
then you have that deja vu feeling. Hey, I've been here already, but
Oh yeah,
how? How I ended up here? So yeah, I when games give me multiple choices, I end up by choosing one, going till the mid of that path, and coming back because I want to see what's on the other side. So I can get lost on the maps as well because of that.
And where that game's regarded, it's also the fact of, okay, it looks great, it sounds great, and it does the seamless past and future thing so well that, okay, I get to enjoy the same soundtrack in 8-bit or 16-bit. I don't mind sidetracking or getting lost.
Exactly. And the transitions are so smooth as well. Like when I first played it and I fell into the water for the first time, and it does like that muffled sound, you know?
Yeah, I love that.
It's so good. Attention to detail is great in, that game.
Well,
I kind of want to. I don't know programming at all, but I would just love to know how that works.
well, I'm jealous now. Okay, I'm.
Hey man, it's in the market. Just buy the game and go play.
I
I
know.
really did.
But talking about other games, what indie games have you guys been playing this past, I don't know, year?
Uh, just Vasco, our 2D artist, has been playing. He played Balasmus, like I said it some time ago. He was
It's
actually
so
one of
good.
the.
I still need to look into that.
He
Too
was
much
actually one
good
of
stuff's
the.
coming in a short period of time. I'm trying to. I'm not ever gonna get caught up until next summer,
Hmm,
and then there's gonna be more stuff. Never ends.
that's the thing.
I love it.
I haven't had the chance to play it, but it's one of my to do, to buy lists.
Okay, so you have a list. Well, I have a list of backlog right now because I start the game and I can't finish because there's other game coming out that I need to do a review about. So I end up by uh, leaving the game that I bought actually behind because yeah, there's a lot of games coming out right now. So
And
this
good ones as well.
this this year has been crazy, and
Yeah, I
people
have a list as well.
people are
It is.
complaining December it's a bad month for games because there's no major releases, and I'm like, you guys want to see my backlog because I have a lot of games to play, so I'm not really.
Does everybody remember how many good games came out in November? We're fine.
Exactly. No,
Besides, that would be a tough act to follow anyway. I would not want to do that.
talking about games, have you guys seen the game of the year list? It comes out, I guess it was today morning or yesterday. You guys saw the
Yeah,
list?
it was Death
Uh,
Stranding, right?
Yeah,
since you get,
it's
I found it because you sent it to me on Discord.
yeah, it's Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Sekiro, The Outer Worlds, and Super Smash.
Oh yeah.
That's a good list.
No, I'm biased towards Smash, but Control is pretty fucking amazing.
Control was amazing, yeah.
I didn't play that one at all.
That's another game that I need to finish. See? I bought the game. So, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Shoot.
Resident Evil 2 is a remake. It's not a remaster. A remake
Wait.
is
Yeah, the Biohazard one, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Leon and Claire.
It's a remake, so it's made from scratch, same story, but graphics and all the rest are made from scratch. Do you guys think that the remake should be on the list for the game of the year, or
Yeah, of course, man.
I don't see why not. They put the time in to make the thing.
The game looks amazing and feels amazing.
I mean, if you really want to make that argument, you can say every Smash is a remake of the previous Smash, especially whenever there are lots of assets that are just reused.
Every Smash is just an expansion pack, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
well,
Don't sue me, Nintendo. I'm sorry. I like your games.
well, yeah, we can put FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer on the same bag, I guess, because they are pretty much all the same every single year. But Smash, I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit different because they add new characters with a different play style. So I
Yeah,
would
and at
say
least they make like a a nice story mode for each game as well.
That story mode was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It was art as well. So you guys have any suggestion from this list to be the game of the year this year?
But before that, it bums me out Mario Maker 2 is not on that list, but that's a bias on my part, and I can accept that.
Hmm.
'Cause that was in May.
Yeah, that's very fair.
I guess there's a
Very-
couple of titles missing here. Like Luigi mentioned 3. I guess the new Star Wars came out after the list was done, so they couldn't add that game to the list.
That one I was wondering, what's the cutoff for that? Because I've heard good things about that game, but
Yeah.
I-
I guess it's one of the rules. So if the game comes out after the list is done, they can't add that to the list. So it kind of makes sense, but
where
still,
is it?
that game is good. So that one and Luigi mentioned 3. I guess those two are kind of missing on the list.
And I mean, Pokemon Sword came out last month as well.
That
I'm
one
surprised
as well.
that wouldn't have made it, even though there's people who are pretty pissed off that I guess they're not all in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am a casual fan at best, so
There's one more game missing from my list, but I can't remember the name of it.
well, there was also the Link's Awakening remake.
Link's Awakening remake.
Mm.
It's actually a good choice as well.
Yeah.
That's such a refreshing art style, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He looks like a toy.
Yeah, it's great. They all look like they're made out of gum or something.
You know what, Schmuckman? I can't find that amiibo here in Portugal. I can't. The first
I bought it online.
the first week, I even asked to the to the people that are on the shop, man, I need this amiibo, please. And he was like, no. On the first week, everyone came here and just grabbed that amiibo and ciao. There's no more here. And yeah, I can't seem to find that thing anywhere. So
Even after this long, it's been
mhm.
2 months. Wow.
I know. There's no stock for that one. But yeah, from this list, I can say that I only played Control and Super
me
Smash. But
I have, let's see, I played Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2. I watched Sekiro because I realized, oh, that's not for me to play. That's for me to watch because I am quite content keeping my ass where it is. And Smash was also good. I haven't played The Outer Worlds. I hate myself for it, but that was the one where I decided, okay, there's too many good games coming out. This is the one that I'm just going to have to pass on for now.
yeah, I remember that you told me that.
And honestly, I'm hoping it's Death Stranding is the one that wins because it would be big funny to me that what is basically a goddamn walking simulator is the game of the year.
Well,
It's a compelling walking simulator, but still.
It's a multi-million-dollar walking simulator.
Yeah.
There's
Sony gave Kojima a blank check and said, hey, go get your friends, go do something weird. And well,
Yeah, it
I
would
am
be
not
nice to have, like,
disappointed.
a fresh idea be game of the year. That would be great.
Totally.
Yeah, they even announced that was a new I will not call a game mode, but a new play style. That's trending, right? They even announced that. I don't recall the name that they give to that, but still, from that list, I would probably say, even if I haven't played, but I don't know, probably Sekiro. I'm not sure about that Stranding though. I'm really not sure about that game.
A lot of people are very divided about it because, like I said, you're just going point A, point B, there, back, rinse, repeat. For some people, this can just be brain meltingly dull.
Yeah, the
and I
story.
can
People are saying that the story is very good, but
I love it, and I don't understand a single thing. That's Kojima though. That's normal Kojima.
oh yeah, you've been playing the games from Kojima, yeah. Um, so yeah, I guess my pick will be Sekiro, but probably Death Stranding will end up by yeah, by winning the prize. What you guys think? Death Stranding as well?
Good possibility.
Yeah, it's looking pretty strong for them.
Yeah.
I'd say either Death Stranding or Control.
Man, Control. Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm divided between Sekiro and Control. God damn it, I can make up my mind. I'm Gemini, so yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Um, so
Yeah, the
yeah,
important thing is as long as you're having fun.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
You know, if you like Barbie horses, maybe that's your game of the year. You know,
Exactly.
you don't need
Like
the
I
total.
said, Mario Maker 2 is not on this list.
Mm,
And for me, that is pretty way up there.
You know, Super Mario 2 is a big shout out.
yeah.
And
Um,
okay, it's not going to win. That's fine. I'm still going to have my fun with it.
we were talking about music in games. How the music will be on Zealot? Have you guys thought about it? Do you guys have any guidelines for it?
In a way, um, so the music's being done by a very talented guy in Canada.
Okay.
The better North America, better US. Um, his name's Benny.
I'm not arguing.
I'm just taking a job. Um, but yeah, his name's Benny Maru. He's a very talented game musician. Um, we are going back and forth with him. We have this vision zealot that we want each sound and each theme to make the character feel immersed in the area which he is.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if you played our game with headphones on. I don't remember exactly.
No, but I've seen the gameplay and the the sound effects. They look awesome, but I haven't played with the headphones on the event.
By the way,
Um,
I just linked Benny
yeah,
Mars Twitter in the chat. So
oh, that's great.
if anyone
He'll be
wants to
very
give him
happy
a
about
look,
Awesome, awesome.
it. Please do. You won't be. You'll be happy about it. Oh, the word escaped my head right now, but you won't regret. That's what I meant. Yeah, you won't regret. Um, yeah, but we're trying to make this melancholic feel in the first area, and Benny nailed it 100%, in my opinion. And even with with the mob fights, you have this transition between melancholic feeling into oh shit, I'm in danger right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's mainly us trying to give this mood that you're there and trying to convey the feelings of the character with and make it reverb with the player.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, but the sound effects that I've heard on the short clips that you sent me, that you guys sent me, they sound awesome.
Thank you, man.
I was hearing with the headphones, and they are awesome. Seriously. Um, so yeah, any questions, Shmaki?
let's see. Well, US, we did get a few coming in on the Discord and
Yeah, yeah.
your Patreon Discord. I'm just trying to pull that up right now, see what we got.
Okay. So give me a second because I have the list here.
Let's see. We already covered the Honey is actually wondering why a 2D character in a 3D world.
Um, that wasn't really a why. It was more let's do it. Like I said, we had a lot of inspirations from past games, Ragnarok Online, it's a 90s game, PS1 game. A lot
Mhm.
of games in that era were made with sprites, the sprite characters in 3D environments, low poly. So just more like a let's do it, let's try it. If it works, we stick to this, and it worked, and we just stuck with it.
Awesome.
And also because we like it, it's not we're not being forced to do anything like that. We grew quite fond of the art style.
It looks good. It's definitely an interesting art choice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I have here a question from Toze, and it goes like this. I don't know if you guys are planning to release a game for a console platform, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, but what major difficulties you guys can predict to port a different platform, and what advices you can give to the new devs that plan to develop on consoles?
That's a very good question. I would say yes, we will be going to the greater consoles, but we don't know exactly when. We will be, as I said, we have a plan to release the game in 2022, but that's our base build at least, which is PC.
Mhm.
For porting, we are looking for publishers right now who will help us with that. And if you need advice, I would say if you don't know what to do, or if you're stuck with any part of the pipeline, and you are lucky enough to get a publisher, ask publisher for help. You know, 100% sure they won't refuse it.
Okay. So another question from Toze. How is developing games in Portugal? Do you guys have a lot of support by the Portuguese indie dev community?
I would say so. Yeah. Everything has been really supportive. Yeah, supporting. We had, the two events right now. It was my first time meeting the Portuguese Game Dev Society. It was very heartwarming to see how everyone kind of works together and pat themselves in the back, trying to lift each other up.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've been on an event in Portugal as well, called Indie Game Dev, where they announced a website that it will be filled with Portuguese made in Portugal, with games made in Portugal.
Where is that?
Let me game. I have to check this one.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb and guess. Okay, I'm on the wrong side of the pond. The support has just been overwhelmingly positive, hasn't it?
Over your side of the pond. I'm really happy with the reception we've been receiving. And in
Awesome.
general, like we get people from Eastern Europe as well, commending the game. We got people from, I think, from Japan as well, talking well of the game as well. We were very surprised to see that we hit international waters, let's say, with the game. We weren't expecting it at all.
With
That's
that in
awesome.
mind, like I said, I'm over in the States. You're in Portugal. How much different? What's it right? Language support, language options. Are you guys
Oh
looking
yeah,
to
for sure. We're going to
have
do.
for it?
Oh yeah, we're going to do translations for some languages. I'm not going to say exactly how many because we haven't decided yet. But English is there, Portuguese is there, obviously Russian's there because it will help get the feeling as well.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we're still deciding as well. In game development, you'd see that the fees change with how many words you have and how many languages. So it's something up to deciding still.
Yeah, I would say that the major languages will be English, Portuguese, Russian, and probably Chinese. Probably
Me-
those are the I don't know, the major languages even though that Portuguese is not on the list of the majority of the games. Uh, but yeah, you guys have to actually pay to someone to translate the words for other languages. So that will you need a paycheck for that. So that's kind of hard for an indie dev to be able to pull up that. I'm
Yeah,
just
but like
trying to check that link because I can't find it. So I'm asking a friend. So I'm sorry if I'm looking to my phone right now. I'm trying to figure out this. But yeah, you were saying, sorry, Sam.
oh yeah, but like I said with the other porting question, if you're developing a game and you're in need of translation, and you're lucky enough to have a publisher, ask the publisher for help. They would probably be very happy to assist with that, and some of them even have a language department that will take care of that for you.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, I think he's replying. Please with the link. Yeah, because that's a great idea. Like every single game made in Portugal will be listed there, so people can see all the web, the social media, the whatnot, the prices. It will be featured there.
Very cool.
So he's saying that it's not live, but yeah, he will send me the link for it. So I will send to you, Sam.
No problem.
Uh, but yeah, according to the question of Toze, I really think that on this past 2 years, the gaming community have been getting together quite a lot, and that's awesome for everyone. Awesome for the devs itself that can talk with each other if they have a problem. I don't know about their game. They can share ideas. That's awesome, and that's awesome as well for us. People that only play games that don't know how to code a thing, that enjoy games. So yeah, I really think that the gaming community are getting together even more right now. So that's awesome.
That's cool.
We just got another question come up from Manic.
Yep.
Okay, since you guys are in Portugal, will there be any Portuguese cues on the game?
Well, what do you mean by Portuguese cues?
Can you type that what the rest of that part out, Manic? Because I actually don't know. I'm not sure what that word is. Sorry.
Oh, where is that? Is on chat?
Yeah, it's on your page, on your Discord, on your Patreon.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I can check that on my PC right now. Hold on, give me a second. So let me just put this question from Toze, and I will try to find the Maniac question. So
Yep.
even then there are indie podcasts. At least this one. Oh, Toze. Why doesn't media, especially the big four Portuguese channels, share and support indies?
I wouldn't say they don't support indies. I would say it's more of a they don't. Um, I read that was one of the questions that I read on Twitter as well, and then again,
Wait, we're losing you, Sam.
Is he bugging
no.
out?
Oh, hello.
I
Okay, you
think
look fine on the Discord, but on the stream it is
yeah,
all
it's cutting.
flickery.
Oh no. Let me know when I come back.
I mean,
When I
I can
finish.
hear you, but the camera is not okay.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh
oh
no.
boy.
Am I making funny faces?
Oh,
Oh no.
okay. It's okay now. It's okay now.
All right. As I was saying, I think that's more of a socio-economic question where it depends on the country what sort of interest the medias will have. So, for example, in the US, you guys have a very strong movie industry, a very strong gaming industry, and when you have a big blockbuster, like for example, the Joker, you have the whole media, how do you say, controversies about it,
Hmm.
where
Yeah.
in Portugal, when you have a good movie and it tells a good story, most of the time it won't even show in news or in magazines. It's just like, as I was saying, it's not that they don't care; it's they don't know, or it's not a vantage point for them. Because a lot of people nowadays, as I'm sure Pedro, you agree with me, you have our version of Price is Right to Preço Certo,
Mm-hmm.
and the demographic for that is 60-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
like old people.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you tune in the major channel and you have suddenly the Price is Right, and they change, oh, and by the way, we have this video game called Zealot. Most of them are gonna be like, I don't care. I wanna see people guessing prices. You know.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just I think Portugal right now is focused on different things like tourism and whatnot to be focused on video game,
Yeah,
which is it's sad,
there's
but what
yeah,
can you do?
there's no investment on the culture here. There's there's no support for instance for devs itself. If you cross the frontier to Spain, um, there's a lot of things going on on the culture right now. They're actually putting up money for people to learn stuffs related to culture, like games, uh, I don't know, TV shows. You guys can see that that series from Netflix, the La Casa de Papel, for
Yeah,
instance. They are really putting effort on that. So you guys don't see that in Portugal.
yeah, because that brings a lot of money to the country. One of the reasons why China is so big right now is that they invested like straight off the bat in movies as well and video games.
Yep.
You have in Europe, you have France doing that now as well, which I think I saw in the news a couple months ago. They're giving tax breaks for gaming companies to open there,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's cool. But come on, bring that to Portugal. At least a tax break would be cool,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Oh, I reminded now. I remind now that someone asked on chat on the other day. Uh,
Yeah.
so you guys have the logo saying Zealot, but you have something behind that, like
Oh
in
yeah.
white.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is
What
that?
is that?
It translates to the word fanatic
Okay.
in Russian, which is fanatic,
Oh,
which
neat.
zealot also means fanatic. So it was just a way to tie both cultures that
Oh, that's awesome.
the game sets in Russia. We wanted to have like a little bit of Russian Easter egg in the back of the title.
Oh, now that you mentioned Easter egg, I guess Manic was trying to ask if you guys are thinking about adding some Easter egg to the game.
Oh, some Portuguese Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, buy the game and find out. I can tell you everything.
Take
Nice.
that,
Good
Manic.
answer.
Nice.
Manix is asking, why in Russian again?
That's a good question. So a lot of people ask that during Games Week, and we as a team, before we started coming up with Zealot, we had a talk about what would we do the game about. And we figured out that a lot of games they centered around the same religion and the same mysticism. You have the Greeks, you have the Romans, you have the Nordics, you have the Americans, but you don't really have the other parts of the world um, culture. You don't have Russian mythology or paganism in many games.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have, for example, the Aztecs and the Mayans. You don't have Brazilian Indian indigenous culture. Even Indian culture is hard to find. Japanese culture, at least in uh, you know in the eastern part of the world, it's not so common. Obviously, in Japan, it would be more common to have Japanese culture. But yeah, it was just a matter of finding something that we could like, which is number one, something that we could find interesting enough to research about, and number two, something that it's new, something that wouldn't be a copy of
Mm-hmm.
another game.
Okay.
So that, and he's Manix saying that's why that explains the Orthodox priest then, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, now that you mention, there's a lot of games involving the Greek and a little bit of the like God of War. It talks about the Nordic mythology, but
Yeah.
there's few games that actually talk about what Zealot is talking. So yeah, that's awesome to see. There was also a game on, I guess it was on IndieX that was about the the Portuguese descobrimentos.
Oh, yeah.
I can't find
Heróis
the
do Mar.
word.
Heróis do Mar. The discovery ages of Portugal.
Yeah, Heróis do
It's
Mar.
more. Yeah, it's more. I played the game as well. It's more a MOBA-like game with Portuguese historic figures.
Hmm.
So you had Fernando Pessoa, which was an 1800 poet, and the female character didn't know who he was, but it was a pretty cool game.
Yeah, it was a great game. So yeah, it's good to see that there's people actually talking about other mythology or other subjects than just Greek mythology or the Nordic one. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's why I agree with Schmuck as well about the Death Stranding mini game of the year, because it's nice to see something fresh, and it's not only fresh; it's fresh and good.
Hmm.
That should be a little bit more common in the gaming industry. I feel that's why indie it's becoming like stronger and stronger with the years. People are tired of seeing the same rehashed garbage, beat 'em
Thank
ups.
you.
Yeah, we know there's
Exactly.
going to be a new Call of
Thank you.
Duty every year.
Yeah, we
What
don't care about
T
Call of Duty
plucking
anymore.
do?
Oh,
See,
you know what? Call
Actually,
of Duty?
sorry, Exile. I know you bought that one.
I bought that one. It's a good game, but still.
I would, yeah, just to reiterate, it's nothing wrong with liking Call of Duty and Battlefields and FIFAs and stuff. It's just
Then again, I bought Wildlands because friends goaded me into it, and I genuinely regret it.
oh, yeah, it's like we're keeping an eye on the industry and we know what you guys do behind screens. So freshness is good.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. That's why I like indie games, because they always show something fresh, even in terms of story. I don't know, like, but the gameplay wise, they always show something different that the AAA games can't show, that because it's a AAA. It's meant to be like that way. It's meant um, to feed the majority of people, and it's great to see that the indie games are doing something different, and there's more people open to that new I don't know, new gameplay, new games that are coming out. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that.
No problem.
So yeah, guys, it's an hour of podcast. And yeah, I think we are done for the first one. You have
We
any
did it.
questions, Schmuckman?
I think we've covered everything that we were going to ask, and we covered. Did we cover everything that Chad wanted to know?
Mm-hmm.
I think we covered. I
I
think we covered
covered
everything.
I will pay attention to Twitter. I've been doing that for this past week, so yeah, just post more stuffs. I'm always trying to check new stuffs.
Yeah, we like to tease a little bit.
I know,
Every week, something
I
here,
know,
something.
I saw that. So yeah, thank you for everyone that was here on this podcast. For those who are going to see this on the other day, thank you as well. Thank you, Sam, for being here, and Prime Cut for showing a little bit the Zealot. So yeah, I will keep you posted about that subject, that link that I've mentioned before. So yeah, thank you, Sam, for being part of this.
You're welcome. Thank you for
Thanks.
inviting me. Great to meet you, Smokeman.
Likewise.
Okay.
Brothers from along the pond.
Okay.
Damn
Schmuckman,
straight.
thank you so much, man. We'll speak.
Hey, it's been fun.
We will speak. Okay.
Yeah, we
Bye
will.
bye, guys. Stay
Thank
awesome,
you.
and
Bye bye, guys.
I'll see you next week for another podcast. I will announce everything on Twitter. Okay.
Yeah, and
Bye.
hopefully I won't miss my bus.
All right. Stay awesome.